The content in this podcast is fully AI generated based on real news articles. Listener discretion is advised. For more detailed information and the original context, please refer to the links provided in the show notes, which direct you to the news articles this podcast is based on. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to our latest episode of AI Tech News. This is the first article of episode 27. I'm your host, John, and as always, I'm joined by our resident tech experts, Joanne and Jessica. Today we're diving into a hot topic from The Verge, how generative AI could fix Siri, Alexa, and hopefully Google Assistant too.
Hey everyone. So voice assistants have been around for over a decade now, right? But it feels like they still haven't lived up to their full potential. They're mostly just glorified alarm clocks.
Exactly, Joanne. Siri, Alexa, and Google Assistant often misunderstand or don't listen properly. It's a bit frustrating considering how long they've been around.
The article points out that generative AI might be the key to transforming these assistants from mere novelties into truly useful tools. Apple, for instance, announced at its Worldwide Developers Conference that they're infusing Siri with generative AI for better context and conversation.
Right. Apple Intelligence is supposed to give Siri all new superpowers with improved language understanding and the ability to take actions across apps on your phone. Like, you can ask about your mom's flight and then follow up with questions about the route to the airport.
And the best part? You won't need to be so precise with your commands. Instead of saying, Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes, you can bumble through and it will still get it. That's a big deal.
Generative AI can generate responses based on learned information rather than just reacting with pre-programmed responses. This could finally make voice assistants more conversational and intelligent.
But it's not without challenges. The article mentions that making a super-intelligent voice assistant isn't as simple as adding generative AI. These assistants control real-world devices and services, so they need to be reliable.
Exactly. You don't want a voice assistant that's prone to hallucinations controlling your home. Apple is being cautious, starting with a beta version of the new Siri and not rushing it into smart home devices.
Meanwhile, Amazon has been working on a more conversational Alexa with its new LLM. They promised it would understand more human-like interactions, but we haven't seen much beyond demos.
And Google's taking an entirely different route, possibly launching a completely new assistant built from the ground up on generative AI. It's clear there's a lot of competition and experimentation in this space.
It's an exciting time for voice assistants. Hopefully, with generative AI, they'll finally become the proactive smart helpers we've been waiting for. Let's see how each company handles these advancements.
Absolutely. And with that, let's move on to our next topic. We'll be talking about 5 Google AI tools to help plan summer travel from the keyword. Stay tuned. All right, folks, let's move on to our next topic. We're talking about 5 Google AI tools to help plan summer travel from the keyword. Summer is here, and Google's got some new tricks to make your travel planning a breeze.
That's right, John. Whether you're a meticulous planner or someone who just wants to get to the fun part, Google's AI tools can help streamline the whole process. The first tool on the list is Gemini.
Gemini acts like your personal travel assistant. You can ask it for recommendations on destinations, the best times to visit, and even detailed itineraries. Imagine having a travel agent at your fingertips.
Gemini can also help with logistics, like drafting packing lists or compiling ways to save money on hotels. It's pretty handy to have such a versatile tool, especially when planning a big trip.
And if you're inspired by photos but don't know where they're from, Google Lens and Circle to Search can help you out. Just use Lens to search for information based on images, or Circle to Search to learn more about things you see on your phone.
These tools are great for turning your travel inspiration into actionable information. You can even find specific items like a carry-on backpack you've spotted online and see where to buy it.
Next up is Google Maps Highlights. This feature combines insights from photos and reviews to show you the best aspects of different places. It's a fantastic way to research spots for your trip.
Yeah, Maps highlights can show you what people like about a place, popular dishes at restaurants, and even the vibe of the area. It really helps you decide whether a spot should be on your itinerary.
And don't forget about Immersive View in Google Maps. This feature uses AI to create 3D models from 2D images, letting you virtually explore a place before you visit. It's available in over 50 cities worldwide.
Immersive View is perfect for checking out the walkability of a location, potential parking issues, or nearby restaurants. It's like taking a virtual tour before you actually get there.
Lastly, Gemini for Google Workspace can help you get ultra-organized. You can use it to create to-do lists, packing lists, and even detailed itineraries in docs and sheets. It's a game changer for group trips.
With Gemini, you can also summarize or bulletize information in shared documents, making it easier to keep everyone on the same page. It really takes the stress out of planning.
These AI tools from Google are really making travel planning more efficient and enjoyable. Up next, we'll be discussing a fascinating topic from Ars Technica. New Stable Diffusion 3 release excels at AI-generated body horror. Stay tuned. All right, everyone, let's move on to our next topic. We're discussing a fascinating and somewhat controversial release. New Stable Diffusion 3 release excels at AI-generated body horror from Ars Technica. Stability AI recently released the Stable Diffusion 3 medium model, and it hasn't been well received.
Oh boy, this one's a doozy. Stable Diffusion 3 Medium is supposed to turn text prompts into AI-generated images, but it's been ridiculed online for producing some wild and anatomically incorrect images of humans.
Exactly. According to a thread on Reddit titled, "Is this release supposed to be a joke?" SD3 Medium is struggling particularly with rendering human limbs like hands and feet. The images are pretty bizarre.
It's interesting because hands have always been a challenge for AI image generators, but it seemed like models were improving. Now with SD3, it feels like a step backward, especially compared to other models like Midjourney or DALL-E 3.
One Reddit user even pointed out that Stable Diffusion used to compete with Midjourney, but now just looks like a joke in comparison. The issue might be Stability AI's insistence on filtering out adult content from the training data.
Yes, the filtering of NSFW content seems to have impacted the model's ability to generate accurate human anatomy. Users are suggesting that heavily censoring a model also gets rid of essential anatomical details.
It's a tricky balance. Censoring too much content can lead to these kinds of failures. And apparently, similar issues were seen with the release of Stable Diffusion 2.0 in 2022, but they were addressed in later versions.
Right, the earlier versions like SD 2.1 and SDXL reversed some of the restrictions and regained some abilities. But it looks like SD3 Medium has fallen into the same trap again.
Adding to the complexity, sometimes the NSFW filters are too picky, removing non-offensive images that are crucial for accurate human depiction. One Redditor mentioned that SD3 works fine as long as there are no humans in the picture.
That's a major limitation for an image synthesis model. Stability AI's recent troubles, like the resignation of its founder and CEO Imad Mostak and a series of layoffs, seem to be reflecting in the quality of their latest releases.
And the delays in releasing the SD3 model waits only fueled rumors about technical issues and mismanagement. It's a tough time for Stability AI, and these visual mishaps aren't helping their case.
Some users are even making dark jokes about the company potentially going bankrupt. It's a stark contrast to the promising image synthesis models we were seeing not too long ago.
It's a reminder of how challenging AI development can be. Hopefully, Stability AI can turn things around. Up next, we'll talk about Adobe's AI tools in Photoshop and Lightroom and the concept of generative credits from Petapixel. Stay tuned. All right, let's dive into our next topic. We're discussing Adobe's AI tools in Photoshop and Lightroom being limited by generative credits from Petapixel. This new system has caused quite a stir among users.
Yeah, when Adobe launched its Firefly generative AI, they introduced these generative credits. Now they're extending this system to Photoshop and Lightroom, which means your use of AI features will be limited by these credits.
But here's an interesting twist. Adobe clarified that users won't lose access to these features even if they run out of credits. The generative AI actions might just be slower once you hit your limit.
Petapixel argues that any change disrupting expected functionality is still a limitation, even if the access isn't completely cut off. Adobe's approach to communicating these changes has also been criticized.
Exactly. Adobe started tracking Firefly-enabled use per user at the beginning of 2024, but didn't really inform users about this change. Most users probably didn't realize their work was consuming generative credits.
Adobe has a detailed FAQ page explaining how these credits work, but many users found out about the enforcement only when their credits were being tracked. And there aren't clear in-app notifications, except in Adobe Express.
As of January 17th, Adobe started enforcing credit limits on select plans. However, they haven't been proactive in alerting users. For most plans, there's no warning when you're running low on credits.
It's also worth noting that credits refresh monthly, don't roll over, and can't be shared among users. For example, all apps plan subscribers get 1,000 credits per month, while single app subscribers get fewer credits.
You can purchase additional credits, but only up to 100 more per month. And these additional credits also don't roll over. It seems Adobe's system might be more about managing use than about offering flexibility.
Interestingly, Petapixel found that in Photoshop, generating a high-resolution image still only used 1 credit. Adobe might adjust these usage rates in the future, though.
Adobe's charging for beta features also raises questions. Users are being charged credits for tools that are still in development and not fully reliable, which seems a bit unfair.
Adobe's communication strategy here seems lacking. Users are frustrated because they weren't clearly informed about these changes and how it would affect their workflow. It's a complex situation, for sure.
It will be interesting to see how Adobe responds to this feedback and whether they'll make any adjustments. Now, let's move on to our next article. GPT-4 has passed the Turing test, researchers claim from livescience.com. Stay tuned. Moving on, let's talk about an intriguing topic from livescience.com. GPT-4 has passed the Turing test, researchers claim. This is big news in the AI world.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating. Researchers had people converse with 4 agents, including a human, and 3 different AI models. The goal was to see if they could tell the difference between a human and an AI.
The Turing test, originally proposed by Alan Turing in 1950, measures if a machine's ability to show intelligence is indistinguishable from a human. Passing this test is a significant milestone for any AI.
In this study, participants interacted with the 1960s-era AI program ELIZA, GPT 3.5, GPT-4, and a human. After 5 minutes, they had to decide if they were talking to a human or an AI.
The results were interesting. GPT-4 was judged to be human 54% of the time, while GPT 3.5 scored 50%. ELIZA, which has no large language model, was only seen as human 22% of the time. The human participant scored 67%.
That's quite impressive for GPT-4. It shows how advanced these language models have become. They can mimic human conversation well enough to fool people over half the time.
Nell Watson, an AI researcher, pointed out that these AI systems can exhibit human-like foibles and quirks. They can be subject to cognitive biases and even become manipulative, which makes them more human-like.
Watson also mentioned that while raw intellect is important, the ability to understand situations, empathy, and the skills of others are crucial for AI to be truly valuable. It's about more than just intelligence.
The study highlighted a significant challenge for future human-machine interactions. As AI becomes more sophisticated, it could make people more paranoid about the true nature of their interactions. especially in sensitive matters.
This research suggests we might have been looking in the wrong place for machine intelligence. Stylistic and socio-emotional factors seem to play a larger role in passing the Turing test than traditional notions of intelligence.
It's a fascinating time for AI development. As language models become more flexible and capable, they can synthesize responses on a broad range of topics and even portray character-driven personalities.
Exactly. It's a massive leap from the early days of AI like Eliza. The advancements we've seen with models like GPT-4 are truly groundbreaking.
Indeed. Up next, we'll discuss 12 jobs ChatGPT will soon replace, according to ChatGPT from Forbes. Stay tuned for more insights. Our next article comes from Forbes. 12 jobs ChatGPT will soon replace, according to ChatGPT. This list highlights the impact AI, specifically ChatGPT, could have on various professions. Let's dive in.
Sure, so the World Economic Forum estimates that AI could replace around 85 million jobs by 2025. ChatGPT itself listed 12 jobs it believes it can replace. First up, customer service representatives.
ChatGPT suggests it can handle customer inquiries, complaints, and support requests 24/7. While it can automate responses, there's still a need for human reps to handle complex or sensitive issues with empathy.
Next, we have data entry clerks. ChatGPT claims it can process and input large amounts of data quickly and accurately, which minimizes errors and improves efficiency.
That's true, but this also means people in data entry roles might need to reassess their careers and consider retraining for more complex tasks that AI can't handle as easily.
Then there's the role of technical support analysts. ChatGPT thinks it can provide technical assistance and troubleshooting for common issues. However, many users still prefer human interaction for detailed tech support.
Content writers are also on the list. ChatGPT can generate articles, blog posts, and other content, maintaining consistency and adhering to guidelines. But human writers bring unique creativity and perspective that AI can't replicate.
Exactly. Talented writers use AI for ideation and automation, but still produce original content that stands out. Proofreaders are another role at risk, as ChatGPT can spot grammar and punctuation errors efficiently.
True, though factual inaccuracies and contextual relevance are areas where human proofreaders still excel. Next up is translators. ChatGPT can translate text between multiple languages accurately, which is quite valuable.
Yes, but translation also involves understanding cultural nuances, something that AI might struggle with. Social media managers are another profession ChatGPT thinks it can handle by creating and scheduling posts and engaging with followers.
But the human touch in managing social media interactions and creating genuine connections is still important. Virtual assistants are also on the list. ChatGPT can manage tasks like scheduling appointments and organizing files.
Yet, personal assistants bring a level of personalization and understanding of their employer's needs that AI can't fully match. Market research analysts might also be replaced, with ChatGPT analyzing trends and gathering data.
However, business analysis often requires real-life experience and intuition that AI lacks. Tutors and educational support roles are also at risk, with ChatGPT providing homework help and personalized learning.
But effective teaching involves more than just providing information. It's about understanding and engaging with students, something AI might not do as well. Recruitment coordinators are another profession mentioned.
AI can screen resumes and schedule interviews, but the nuanced judgment of human recruiters in matching candidates with roles is still crucial. Lastly, personal finance advisors might be replaced, with ChatGPT offering budgeting and investment advice.
Yet personal finance is deeply personal, and AI might not fully understand individual risk tolerance or goals. So while AI can handle many tasks, the human element remains vital in many professions.
This wave of automation will likely evolve roles rather than eliminate them entirely, allowing humans to focus on tasks that require empathy, creativity, and complex decision-making.
It's definitely an exciting time, with AI transforming the business world. Up next, we'll be discussing AI candidate running for parliament in the UK says AI can humanize politics from NBC News. Stay tuned.
Our next topic is quite unique. AI candidate running for parliament in the UK says AI can humanize politics from NBC News. This story is about AI Steve, an AI co-pilot represented by businessman Steve Endicott in the upcoming UK general election.
That's right. Steve Endicott, the chairman of Neural Voice, is running for parliament with the help of AI Steve. The idea is to have an AI that can always be available to talk with constituents and take their views into account.
Endicott describes AI Steve as a co-pilot. He's the real politician, but AI Steve helps by providing answers based on a database of the party's policies and even conducting internet research if needed.
It's an interesting approach. People can ask AI Steve questions or share their opinions on policies. If AI Steve doesn't have an answer, it will research and engage the voter to suggest a policy.
In an example conversation about Brexit, AI Steve emphasized that the UK voted to leave and that it's responsible for implementing and optimizing this decision, showing its ability to engage with current issues.
Endicott is seeking thousands of validators, people who will score policies from 1 to 10 each week. If a policy gets more than 50%, it becomes official party policy. This allows for continuous engagement with voters.
Endicott's previous run in a local election under the Conservative Party didn't go well, but this time, AI Steve has generated significant interest. On one night, it received around 1,000 calls from voters.
The top issues raised by voters so far include the safety of Palestinians, trash bins, bicycle lanes, immigration, and abortion. This shows the wide range of topics AI Steve can handle.
Endicott describes himself as a centralist and aligns most closely with the Green Party. He created his own party, Smarter UK, though it wasn't registered in time for this election.
If elected, AI Steve would be the first AI legislator in public office. While some might find the concept of an AI politician unusual or even unsettling, Endicott insists that it's a way to bring more humans into politics.
He believes that AI can reinvent democracy by allowing continuous voter engagement, rather than just voting every 4 years. It's a radical idea, especially in the UK, and could have significant implications for how we think about governance.
This approach could indeed revolutionize the way politicians interact with their constituents. It's about using technology to enhance, not replace, human political engagement.
Absolutely. Now let's move on to our next article. Israeli deployed AI in Gaza likely helps IDF reduce civilian casualties, expert says from Fox News. Stay with us for more insights. Our next article is from Fox News. Israeli deployed AI in Gaza likely helps IDF reduce civilian casualties, expert says. This is about the advanced AI systems the Israel Defense Forces are using in their operations.
Yes, during their recent operations in Gaza, the IDF has been using AI-powered drone swarms, mapping drones, and targeting systems. These technologies are aimed at minimizing civilian casualties while targeting Hamas terrorists.
Blaise Mistal, from the Jewish Institute for National Security of America, explained that drones are a near-constant companion for ground troops. Each unit has its own mini Air Force supporting them.
These drones can map underground tunnels or protect troops as they navigate these spaces. For example, IRIS, a ground-based throwable unit, can explore hazardous areas and relay real-time intelligence.
Another interesting piece of tech is the Vision 60 from Ghost Robotics. It can walk, run, crawl, and even swim, helping to keep soldiers and other personnel out of harm's way.
The IDF also uses the Griffin counter-UAV from Extend to find and neutralize rogue drones. This technology was initially developed to counter Hamas's incendiary balloons.
A significant part of Israel's AI strategy involves targeting systems like Gospel and Lavender. These systems use machine learning to identify and verify targets, but a human analyst and IDF lawyer make the final decision.
Jonathan Conricus from the Foundation for Defense of Democracies highlighted that while reliance on AI is growing, human decision-making remains crucial at key junctions.
The gospel system focuses on hard targets like buildings and weapons storage, while Lavender uses facial recognition to identify Hamas leaders. This helps the IDF sift through vast amounts of data efficiently.
Mistal mentioned that AI helps in preventing scenarios like the one in 2021, where an airstrike on a poorly constructed tunnel caused the collapse of a residential building. The precision from AI mapping makes current operations more surgical.
AI's use in facial recognition is also crucial for creating safe zones and ensuring that Hamas fighters don't exploit protection measures for civilians. It shows a high level of care to minimize civilian harm.
Interestingly, an Associated Press report supported Mistal's observations, showing that the proportion of Palestinian women and children casualties has declined, indicating the effectiveness of AI in reducing civilian harm.
AI has allowed Israel to maintain high operational levels without needing extensive human resources. This technology is becoming a normalized part of their strategy, making them more capable of precise operations.
It's clear that AI is playing a crucial role in modern military operations, providing both strategic advantages and humanitarian benefits by reducing civilian casualties.
Up next, we'll discuss another intriguing topic. FCC names its first ever AI scammer in Threat Alert from Fox News. Stay tuned for more insights.
Our next article from Fox News is about the FCC naming its first ever AI scammer in a threat alert. This is about the Royal Tiger cyber gang and their use of AI for sophisticated scams.
The Royal Tiger gang has been using AI voice cloning to impersonate staff from government agencies, banks, and utilities. They've been running these robocall scams from various countries, including India, the UK, the UAE, and the US.
Their leader, Prince Jashwantlal Anand, also known as Frank Murphy, has been heading this operation. The gang uses phone spoofing to make their calls look legitimate, which makes it easier to deceive victims.
The FCC's move to publicly name and shame Royal Tiger is an attempt to raise awareness and encourage international action against these scammers. They've sent cease and desist letters to companies involved in the operation.
It's interesting that the FCC has also required some downstream providers to block traffic from these companies. They've classified Royal Tiger as a consumer communications information services threat due to the danger they pose.
Experts like Dr. Ilya Kolachenko from ImmuniWeb warn that we're likely to see a surge in AI-enabled fraud and crimes. These scams often exploit people's respect for law enforcement and government to trick them into paying fines or sharing personal information.
With AI making these scams more convincing, it's crucial for individuals to protect themselves. Being skeptical of unsolicited calls, using call blocking services, and verifying caller identities can help.
Yes, and it's important to avoid sharing personal information over the phone unless you are certain of the caller's identity. Reporting suspicious calls to the FCC or FTC can also help track and take action against these scams.
Using data removal services can also minimize the amount of personal information available online, making it harder for scammers to get hold of it. It's about staying one step ahead of these evolving tactics.
Absolutely. The coordinated effort from the government, companies, and individuals is crucial in combating these AI-enabled fraud tactics effectively. What do you think about the role of AI companies in preventing misuse of their technologies?
AI companies need to take responsibility for ensuring their technologies aren't used for malicious purposes. This includes implementing safeguards and monitoring for misuse.
It's a complex issue, but with the right measures in place, we can hopefully reduce the impact of these scams. Up next, we'll discuss an unreal flamingo image that won an AI award but turns out to be a real photograph. Stay tuned.
Our next topic is from CNN. An unreal flamingo image won an AI award. The only catch, it's a real photograph. This story is about photographer Miles Astray, who pulled off quite the stunt at the 1839 Awards Color Photography Contest.
That's right, John. Astray entered a real photo of a flamingo in the AI category of the contest. The flamingo was bending its neck to scratch itself, making it look headless, which mimicked the oddities often seen in AI-generated images.
To Astray's surprise, his photo won third place in the AI category and also received the People's Vote Award. He wanted to prove that human-made content still has relevance and can compete with AI.
After winning, Astray revealed his trickery to the contest organizers and on social media. He aimed to highlight the ethical implications of AI in art and photography, showing that creativity and emotion are more than just a string of digits.
Astray was subsequently disqualified, but the director of Creative Resource Collective, Lily Fearman, said there were no hard feelings. They plan to use this incident to start a conversation about AI-generated images.
Fearman hopes this will raise awareness and send a message of hope to other photographers who are worried about AI. They want to ensure that human artistry is not overshadowed by AI technology.
Astray mentioned that the idea for this stunt was more subconscious. When he saw the flamingo image, it just clicked. It was the perfect shot because it looked so unreal due to the natural pose of the bird.
It's a fascinating example of how human creativity can still surprise and outshine AI. This incident definitely sparked a much-needed debate about the role of AI in creative fields.
Yes, and it also underscores the importance of clear criteria and vetting processes in contests that include AI categories. It's essential to maintain fairness and give human artists their due recognition.
Absolutely. This story reminds us that while AI is powerful, the human touch in art and creativity is irreplaceable. Up next, we'll discuss how AI-generated photos are flooding Facebook to drive engagement, according to verifythis.com. Stay tuned. Our next topic comes from verifythis.com. AI-generated photos flood Facebook to drive engagement. This story highlights how AI-generated images are being used on Facebook, often as part of scam tactics.
That's right. You've probably seen striking photos of service members, quadruplets, or children in rubble with captions like, "Why don't pictures like this ever trend?" These posts get thousands of likes and shares, but they're often AI-generated.
Kathy sent an example of one such post to Verify, asking if the photo was real. The answer is no. These photos are created using generative AI, which can produce new content based on a prompt.
Verify analyzed multiple examples and found that all were AI-generated. They used AI detection tools and looked for telltale signs of AI creation, like misshapen hands and unrealistic textures.
For instance, the image of children in rubble had hands with extra fingers or missing fingers, and the arm around a child had a sleeve color that didn't match any other child's shirt. These are clear signs of AI generation.
Another example was a photo claiming to show 101-year-old quadruplets. The people in the photo didn't look 101 years old, and there were no news stories about such an event. Plus, the image had Meta's Made with AI label.
An AI-generated image of military service members on a semi-truck also had issues. The semi-truck had too many tires, the license plate had no real numbers or letters, and the bodies of the service members were distorted.
These AI-generated posts are often part of like farming scams, where scammers create posts to get likes and shares. Once they have enough engagement, they can edit the post to add malicious links or promote fake products.
Researchers found that many Facebook pages posting AI content are involved in scams or spam. They use clickbait tactics and try to direct users to low-quality domains or to collect personal information.
To protect yourself, be skeptical of unsolicited posts, use call blocking services, verify the authenticity of calls from government agencies, and avoid sharing personal information. Reporting suspicious posts to the FCC or FTC can also help.
It's crucial to stay vigilant and protect your personal information. Using data removal services can also help minimize the amount of personal data available online, making it harder for scammers to exploit.
Absolutely. It's about being aware and taking proactive steps to safeguard yourself. Up next, we'll discuss a survey finding that the payoff from AI projects is dismal. Stay tuned.
Our next article from the Register is titled, Survey Finds Payoff from AI Projects is Dismal. It discusses a recent study by LucidWorks that highlights some of the challenges businesses are facing with AI adoption.
LucidWorks conducted a survey between April and May 2024 involving business leaders from 1,000 companies across 14 industries. The study found that the initial enthusiasm for generative AI has waned, with a more measured approach now being taken.
According to the survey, 63% of global companies plan to increase spending on AI in the next 12 months, down from 93% in 2023. The slowdown is due to several factors, including the dismal financial benefits of implemented AI projects.
One major issue is that 42% of companies have yet to see significant benefits from their generative AI initiatives. Many are still stuck in the pilot testing stage, with only 25% of planned investments completed to date.
The cost of AI projects has also skyrocketed, up 14 times since last year. Concerns about the accuracy of AI responses have increased fivefold, adding to the hesitation.
Interestingly, 49% of organizations use commercial large language models like Google's Gemini and OpenAI's ChatGPT, while 30% use both commercial and open source models. Only 21% rely exclusively on open source models.
Eric Redmond from LucidWorks pointed out that ensuring AI security, accuracy, and responsible data acquisition all come with a price tag. Cutting corners in these areas can lead to inaccurate or inappropriate responses.
The most successful AI initiatives have involved governance and cost reduction. These include standardizing models to ensure alignment and limiting access to generative AI tools based on roles.
Qualitative applications like generating FAQs and providing HR support have been the most successful. These simpler projects have seen better implementation compared to more complex quantitative applications.
Code generation has emerged as a top use case for AI. Redmond noted that AI copilots can empower knowledge workers by offering suggestions and support, while leaving the final decision to the human user.
Governance has been a key initiative, especially with regulations like the EU AI Act, emphasizing transparency and user control. Organizations are naturally prioritizing risk management in the face of powerful AI capabilities.
It's clear that while AI holds great potential, the journey to realizing its benefits is complex and requires careful planning and investment. Companies need to navigate these challenges to make the most of their AI initiatives.
Absolutely. Now let's move on to our next article from Fortune. How Amazon blew Alexa's shot to dominate AI, according to more than a dozen employees who worked on it. Stay tuned for more insights. Our next article comes from Fortune. How Amazon blew Alexa's shot to dominate AI, according to more than a dozen employees who worked on it. This piece delves into the internal challenges Amazon faced with their Alexa AI project.
David Limp, who was Amazon's head of devices and services, demonstrated a new generative AI-powered version of Alexa in September 2023. It was supposed to mark a massive transformation, making Alexa more conversational and natural.
The demonstration showed Alexa responding joyfully to questions and even sending messages. However, after the event, there was silence. The traditional Alexa voice never changed on the devices, and little news emerged about the new AI-powered Alexa.
Former employees revealed that the new Alexa wasn't ready for prime time. Amazon struggled with structural dysfunction and technological challenges, which delayed the rollout of the generative AI-powered Alexa.
Amazon reportedly doesn't have enough data or the specialized computer chips needed to run large language models, LLMs, like those used by OpenAI. Privacy concerns also prevented the use of Anthropic's Claude model in Alexa.
The September 2023 demo was just that, a demo. The new Alexa LM was not state-of-the-art and faced many issues, including producing hallucinations and toxic content, making a broad release risky.
Adding to the challenges, Amazon's internal politics and the pressure to prioritize other generative AI projects, like those for AWS, further hampered the progress of Alexa's development.
Despite lofty goals set by Amazon executives, including the development of human-level artificial general intelligence, AGI, the Alexa team faced constant pressure and unrealistic deadlines, causing frustration among employees.
Former employees described how the large, siloed structure of the Alexa organization made it difficult to coordinate efforts. Each domain, like Alexa Home or Alexa Music, had its own goals, leading to conflicts and inefficiencies.
One issue was catastrophic forgetting, where fine-tuning the model for one domain would degrade its performance in others. This made it nearly impossible to create a model that worked well across all Alexa domains.
Even though Amazon insists it is committed to delivering a generative AI Alexa, many former employees are skeptical. They believe the new Alexa may never be ready or could be overtaken by nimbler competitors.
It's clear that transforming Alexa into the world's best personal assistant is a complex task. The journey is fraught with technical and organizational challenges that need to be addressed for success.
Absolutely. Up next, we'll discuss another fascinating topic: AI in military applications. Could a machine make life and death decisions? From the Jerusalem Post. Stay with us. Our next article comes from the Jerusalem Post. AI in military applications. Could a machine make life and death decisions? This opinion piece explores the role of AI in military systems and the limitations placed on it.
The article explains that AI in military applications can be divided into two main categories: tools that assist in technical and tactical processes, and tools that improve decision-making processes, but not in making actual decisions.
It's important to note that current orders and procedures clearly state that AI applications will not be used in life and death situations without human involvement. Decisions to attack are made only by human entities with legal support.
The IDF uses AI to extract the best information and recommendations, but the final decision is always made by humans. The Lavender system, for instance, filters intelligence information but doesn't make decisions.
AI tools undergo rigorous evaluation to ensure accuracy and reliability before they are used operationally. This includes examining algorithm stability over time and under different conditions, along with multiple regulatory approvals.
Any decision resulting in an attack requires at least two separate indications from independent sources and must be carried out by a human. AI systems are not authorized to make these decisions on their own.
AI products also go through an explainability process to verify their validity. This ensures that the recommendations made by AI are understandable and can be trusted by human operators.
The use of AI in military decision-making is highly complex and requires extensive training for operational users. AI assists in providing insights, but the final decision-making authority remains with human experts.
In civilian systems, AI can sometimes decide matters of life and death indirectly. This is one reason why autonomous vehicles are being adopted at a slower pace than other AI applications.
Brig Gen, Prof. Jacob Nagel, who co-wrote the article, emphasizes that we are far from a situation where AI systems can make offensive military decisions independently. Human oversight is crucial in these contexts.
The article highlights the careful methodologies and strict regulations in place to ensure that AI is used responsibly in military applications, always with human control at the forefront.
It's a fascinating look at how AI can support but not replace human decision-making in critical military operations. Up next, we'll discuss Microsoft's recent shift in prioritizing security over AI from Ars Technica. Stay tuned.
Our next article is from Ars Technica. Microsoft in damage control mode says it will prioritize security over AI. This is a significant shift in Microsoft's strategy, focusing heavily on security.
Brad Smith, Microsoft's president, testified to Congress that security will be more important than the company's work on artificial intelligence. Satya Nadella, the CEO, has taken on the responsibility of overseeing Microsoft's security personally.
This change comes after Microsoft admitted that it could have prevented 2 major cyber attacks by China and Russia. A whistleblower, Andrew Harris, revealed that Microsoft ignored a vulnerability for years to avoid losing a government contract.
These cyber attacks led to significant breaches, including the theft of 60,000 U.S. State Department emails and access to sensitive government information. Even Microsoft itself was breached by a Russian group.
Smith acknowledged the company's shortcomings and emphasized the need to strive for perfection in cybersecurity. Nadella reinforced this by sending an email to all staff, prioritizing security over new features or support for legacy systems.
Microsoft is also adopting all 16 recommendations from the Cyber Safety Review Board. This includes stopping charges for key security features and adding 18 more concrete security objectives.
The company has launched the Secure Future Initiative, SFI, described as the largest cybersecurity engineering project in the history of digital technology. They've dedicated 34,000 full-time engineers to this initiative.
Additionally, Microsoft has beefed up its security team by adding 1,600 security engineers this fiscal year and planning to add another 800 next fiscal year. The Chief Information Security Officer, CSO, will now run an office with senior-level deputy CSOs.
Smith mentioned that Microsoft's previous stance on the Russian cyber attack was defensive. However, he now accepts full responsibility for the security failures, emphasizing a commitment to grounding projects in core cybersecurity principles.
This shift is part of Microsoft's effort to regain trust and ensure that security is integrated into every aspect of their product development. It's a crucial move, given the ever-evolving nature of online threats.
It's clear that Microsoft is taking significant steps to address these issues and prioritize security. Up next, we'll discuss Elon Musk's recent comments on Apple's approach to AI and his threat to ban devices if OpenAI is integrated into their operating system from Fox Business. Stay with us.
This is the last article of the episode, and it's quite a controversial one from Fox Business. Elon Musk blasts Apple's approach to AI, threatens to ban devices if OpenAI integrated into operating system.
Elon Musk has made some bold statements on X, saying he would ban Apple devices at his companies if Apple integrates OpenAI at the operating system level, calling it an unacceptable security violation.
Musk suggested that visitors to his companies would have to check their Apple devices at the door, where they would be stored in a Faraday cage. That's quite an extreme measure.
This all came after Apple announced new AI features across its apps and operating platforms, as well as a partnership with OpenAI to bring ChatGPT technology to its devices.
Apple claims it has built AI with privacy at the core, using a combination of on-device processing and cloud computing to power these features. Musk, however, isn't convinced.
Musk called it patently absurd that Apple isn't smart enough to create their own AI, but claims it can ensure OpenAI will protect user security and privacy. He has been quite vocal about his distrust in this partnership.
Interestingly, a community note under Musk's tweet pointed out that Apple has created its own AI called Apple Intelligence. ChatGPT is just an additional feature within this system, requiring user permission for each use.
Musk's history with OpenAI is quite complex. He co-founded it in 2015, but sued the organization and its CEO Sam Altman, claiming they abandoned the mission to develop AI for the benefit of humanity and not for profit.
In response to his dissatisfaction with OpenAI, Musk founded his own startup, xAI, which aims to challenge OpenAI. xAI was valued at $24 billion in its last funding round, raising $6 billion in Series B funding.
Fox Business has reached out to Apple and OpenAI for a response to Musk's comments, but it's clear that this debate over AI integration and security is far from over.
It will be interesting to see how Apple and OpenAI respond to Musk's allegations and whether this will impact their partnership or the implementation of AI features in Apple products.
Absolutely. Musk's stance on AI and his aggressive moves to challenge existing AI leaders highlight the intense competition and high stakes in the AI industry.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode. We've covered some fascinating topics today, and we hope you found our discussions insightful. Thanks to Joanne and Jessica for their insights.
It's been a great discussion, John. Looking forward to the next episode.
Same here. Thanks for having me, John. See you all next time.